What is going on YouTube? This is Matthew B1212 here. Want to make a quick video for you guys just to update on the previous video that I made. I just want to show you guys because I actually wanted to bring a couple pop sockets out here just to show you guys while I was doing this. So for this video, I'm going to be showing you guys with a couple pop sockets just to show you guys over here. I just want to show you guys how they fit in there, because obviously when they're on your phone, the sticky part is on your phone, so they go in this way. And so what happens is you stick the pop socket in, and with this one, it doesn't really lock in. Obviously, it's like just sitting in there. Now it does have a good grip, but it's not like it like really, you know, snaps in. It's just like, listen. So let me just turn the air off for a second. Right, so it doesn't really have any sort of like snap in. I guess I'll leave this off for a minute just to show you guys over here. So then when you go over here, it really snaps in. Like if you guys notice, like look at this. And then it snaps back out, but it snaps in, like look at that, right? It snaps in. And then over here, it really just kind of sits in there. This one's a little bit wider. I'm not really sure, maybe it's just the one I got isn't as like grippy, but this is the one I just put in here. So we'll test it over here just so you guys can see it's not the pop socket itself, but look. So I mean, it really sits in there. I mean, when you have your phone on, it's easy to take it in and out, but it snaps in. You can feel it snap in. I mean, it's like, you know, it has like that little part that it just snaps into. So, just thought I'd make a quick video for you guys just to show you guys that, because last night when I was doing a video for you guys just to show you guys the inside and like my view and everything, I didn't have any pop sockets to show you with, so I just wanted to get that for you just to give you guys a quick idea of it. And then the other thing is I got another car mount. I wasn't sure because the problem I had is that I've been looking for the one that goes in the dashboard or in the vent, and unfortunately I haven't been able to find one. I've been looking at most stores and I haven't been able to find one. I saw a few at Target today, but I kind of just changed my mind, and I thought that this is actually better, because I was thinking back about which one really is better, and I like this one better because it really secures your phone. And I just feel like, you know, it really kind of holds your phone more securely, and it doesn't really have like any sort of like, you know, bumpiness. It's like this physical part itself does not move. I mean, it's glued onto the dash, and like I said, the good thing about this physical product is that the adhesive they have on there, it does not damage any sort of surface or your phone or case or whatever it is. The adhesive that they use for this product, the reason why it's $10 is because of the adhesive. They give you a stronger adhesive and a more high quality adhesive that when it comes off, it's like one physical like piece. And so what it is it doesn't have all that sticky gluiness that stays behind. And even if it did, it's not too hard to get off of most surfaces like that, you know, that gluey surface. Mostly just tape is the one that you really have a lot of issues with, because when you use physical tape, any sort of like just normal tape is just going to have issues. But with this, just want to give you guys a quick like comparison. This physical like adhesive they have for the pop socket is the same for this one, but this one is a little bit different from what I noticed. It's a little bit more delicate. So when you take this off one time, the adhesive itself is already all screwed up on this thing here, because the thing that they do is they use an adhesive that's like an all like it sticks all together on itself. And so when you take it off, it's not like little bits of it come off. It's all one physical piece of adhesive. Like, let me just show you guys with the pop socket, because the pop socket's a little bit less that one's even more sensitive, but this one isn't as sensitive, but it is still sensitive, because I don't see any sort of adhesive when I took it off of my phone after having it on my phone for almost 3-4 months. I didn't see any sort of adhesive, may even been 5 months, but I didn't see any sort of adhesive left over on my phone. There was a slightest little circle just because it was really clean in there and the outside of my phone was a little bit more dirty, but as soon as I kind of wiped my finger around there, it took off all the little bits of dirt around the edges and everything. It all came right off. There was no stickiness. I would stick my finger right where my pop socket was, and I could still show you guys, because my pop socket, I moved it to a different part of my phone. That part doesn't have any sort of like outline or any sort of stickiness on that part, so it does have a good adhesive. And the thing is, when you take this little sticker off, so that it's like the part that the cover, the adhesive itself, you'll notice that it's like a really good material, because what it is is it's almost like a gelatin sort of like film material. Like it's like a film that is like a really good sticky adhesive that goes onto your phone or whatever surface. And then what happens is when you try to take it off, it all stays together and it doesn't like little bits of it rip off and stay on your phone, because the technique that they said was that you have to use a credit card or some sort of card to go ahead and scrape under it to just go ahead and get it off. So the cool thing about this design is that it obviously can be used a few times, but really the biggest thing that you really want to look at is you're really not going to be moving it around. You know, once you stick it on, if I were you, if you want my personal suggestion and if you want to understand the way this thing works, is make sure you don't take it off. Like, figure out where you want to put it. Don't take it off. Because when you do take it off, that needs to be what... See, here's the thing. When you do decide to take it off at one point or another, that needs to be when you decide to take it off and just throw it away, or you don't want it anymore, get a different one. Because what happens is you don't want to risk taking it off, putting it back on, because then you're going to have a big chance of it coming off at one point or another when you take your phone. But, you know, like I said, you can test for that, because here's the thing. When you take the pop socket off and move it to a different location on your phone or whatever, here's the thing. You can go ahead to test to see if this works, to make sure it's not going to fall off, or, you know, you're going to risk losing, you know, dropping your phone with it because it'll come off, by extending it. So let me just show you guys real quick here. I'm just going to extend it for you guys. So what you want to do is you want to extend it, right? And when you have it on your phone stuck on, you want to like pull it all the way out to where it's extended. And then you basically just want to, like, don't do this over really high surface. Do this right over the table or whatever you're doing. Hold your phone, because this is where the phone would be, right? This is where the phone would be laying, like, right over it. Hold your phone to see if it, like, has enough, like, force to hold it. And then what you want to do is hold your phone, like, you have your phone on this side, right? So what you want to do is, sorry, just give me just a second. I just popped this stupid thing on my phone again. Just trying to close this little compartment that I have on my phone. Okay, so what you want to do is, your phone's going to be right here, so you want to hold your phone and you want to hold this end of the pop socket, and then you want to go ahead and you want to like pull on it, not too hard, but you want to pull on it with some force, okay? And because normally if you want to test this out, you use a pop socket that you have on your phone that you've never taken off before. It's like the first time you've had it on there and it's never come off and been positioned, and pull on it, and you'll see you can pull on it with all the force, and you're going to pull on it with so much force that it's not going to come off until you actually get this part to come off of this. So what you want to do is, when you're pulling on it, you want to pull on it so hard that this piece disconnects from that piece, and it goes back on. It's like a piece that, you know, you can stick that back on. And that's the cool thing, because if you really like this pop socket, you can buy another pop socket. Just buy a random pop socket and then get the glue part, take that off of that one and put it on this one. So that's why it's a good product, you know, because you can really continue using whichever one you want, just because the cool thing is, once you decide, oh man, like this one's not really good anymore, but I like this design, I want to keep this one, buy another pop socket, and then bam, you get the adhesive off of this one, and then you take this one off and you replace it with that one, because then you can continue using this one. So the cool thing about this product is that they really allow you to continue using whichever one you want. They have a really good, convenient way for you to pick and choose, and to be able to really kind of mix and match. You know, that's the really cool thing about it. And they're about $10. I mean, if you find it cheaper than $10, you're getting a deal. So anywhere between $10 and $15 is the normal price, depending on how sophisticated they are. But if you can get them cheaper than that, then that's really good. So I'm just going to tell you guys right now, the adhesive one is better. Okay? I think it's personally better, because if the only thing you're worried about is it damaging your dashboard, because if you guys notice, this is a really, you know, like, it's a really luxury dashboard. I mean, I wouldn't want to damage it, and I would not be risking putting some stupid, you know, $10 device if I knew that it was going to damage it, or if I didn't know that it wasn't going to damage it. But because I've read reviews and I've read about people putting them on their dash, having them on there for months, taking them off, not having an issue, and it's just not having any problems, I decided to do it. So we're going to see if we don't have any problems. But like I said, I just bought one just so you guys can see the packaging and everything, because they do make rip-off brands, and I've seen them at CVS. I've even seen them at Target next to the pop sockets. They've had rip-off brands. Even at Walmart, all sorts of places will have the rip-off brand. So you want to be careful, because if you find one, you don't want to get the rip-off brand and then you end up not being able to really get the quality that you're supposed to get from the real pop sockets, because the pop sockets are the ones that have the higher quality material. So if you get one that's cheaper, that's not a pop socket, you're gonna end up regretting probably having some issue dropping your phone. It's, you know, not going to stick to your car, whatever it is. You don't want to have an issue. So just make sure if you do buy one, buy a pop socket. Make sure it says, you know, pop socket right there. They have their logo with the little 3 extension piece, because really it's 3 pieces, but the first 2 pieces don't really come off each other, because if you see this piece right here is connected to this like top part, but that doesn't really come out. It may break if you do. I've never really seen how you take that off. So these are 2 pieces, but then this adhesive part right here, that part, it disconnects. It's like a little plate. This little plate right here is all one piece. And then this whole part with all of this, like all these little bump ups, this is all one piece. So right there where that little slit is, this little corner piece right there, that's where this piece disconnects. And it's like a little circle that goes in there, and it sticks, you know, you kind of suction it in there and it sticks in there. So like I said, you could replace, if you don't have a good adhesive on the one you have, if you really like your pop socket, you can replace the adhesive part by just buying a new pop socket. Because like I said, it's not worth trying to just get the adhesive. You're going to end up having a lot of issues. I don't even know how you would do that, because the pop socket with the adhesive like this, like a normal pop socket, is going to cost you $10. So I'm not really sure if you can really just buy this, because this is probably the bulk of the price. I mean, this is where, you know, this is their main point right here, is this disc with the adhesive. That's probably more expensive. Now, this is a whole like one piece design, so, you know, I don't really know how they verify how they you know, fix, you know, how they made their price. But I mean, I'm obviously assuming that this adhesive part's going to take up most of the cost of what it costs to make this entire pop socket. So I mean, for the most part, if you guys notice right here, I mean, this fits really great. I mean, it's like I said, you know, it doesn't really lock in, but it's not going to move. Your phone, the gravity's pulling it down, so it's not going to go up and fall out, or, you know, whatever. It's like, it's going to sit in there, so it's not really going to have an issue. It's not like it's like really loose, you know, you have like some sort of like oil on it or anything. It's going to sit in there, so you really don't have to worry. Sorry, I just dropped it. About it falling, because it has enough. So what it is it has enough of like grip to just sit in there. It's not like it's loose enough to the point where it's gonna, like, you know, bounce up and down or anything. It sits in there and it stays. So like I said, with this one, it's gonna lock in. I mean, right now this is the point where it's hard. It's like you're gonna have to push on it to lock it in, so you can feel the locking in. It snaps right in, you know, it clicks right in. It doesn't make a clicking sound, but it goes in, and it, you know, you have like a little point where there's resistance because it has enough force to go in. And so, I mean, really the biggest thing to try and check on is when you get one of these, make sure you have that sort of resistance, because you don't want to buy one and then you don't have some sort of resistance. Because I have the box for this one right there, and I bought this at Barnes and Nobles. But what I may do is, because I'm not really having success with this one, and it doesn't seem like it's really, you know, how it should be compared to this one, at least since I know that one works great, I may put this back in the box and just return that one. Because what I think I may do is, I'll go buy one at Target just like this, and then I'll take that one and stick it back in the box and return it with that receipt, because I don't know where the Barnes & Noble's receipt is, and I don't really like how it's not as good as it should be. So I may just go ahead and do that. But I'll keep you guys tuned for that. So I just wanted to make a video for you guys just to show you guys with the pop socket inside of the device, so you guys can see kind of how it works, and just so you guys can kind of get the feel for you know, how it looks and everything. But I mean, it really doesn't look too tacky. I mean, you notice them obviously. I mean, it's a little, you know, device sticking onto your dash or your vent. But, you know, obviously, I mean, you know, it's obviously going to be the best thing. Because, I mean, I'm going to tell you guys right now, I've seen so many people with, like, these big, bulky, like, things that stick into their vent and come sticking, you know, out at an angle, so you can have it right in your face or on your entire, your glass. And so your windshield. And I mean, it just looks so tacky. I mean, if you compare these to that, I mean, you can't beat this. I mean, honestly, there's so many rip-off brands. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. And now that they came out with this sort of product, I mean, there's so many more rip-off brands that I've seen, like, in the stores that are just like this. And that, you know, I mean, they really just, you know, they try to make a rip-off brand, and they make them cheaper just because they go down in quality with the adhesive and everything. So I'm telling you, I mean, this is probably the best product. I mean, it's $10. I mean, you really just need one. I mean, most people don't have 5 cars, you know, that they all drive at the same time, you know. So, I mean, you really just need 1 or 2. I mean, depending on if you have a couple cars or so that, you know, you kind of just drive. Maybe, you know, you're in a family, you have a couple cars, and, you know, you drive one or the other, and, you know, it just depends on where you have to go or what you're doing. So, I mean, it's really $20. I mean, if you think about it, you buy a car mount, like a physical mount that holds your entire phone, and it like grips around your phone like this, and it sticks out and all that. I mean, those are like at least $20, $30, maybe $40, right? I mean, you can find some for $100, $150 depending on what you're buying. I mean, it depends on how high quality they are, you know? And so I really just think that with this product, I mean, you know, they're $10, so you're really not going to find another car mount for $10. Maybe 20, maybe 30, maybe 40, 50, 60, but not 10. And maybe if you do find one for 10, it's really cheap and it's like a physical, like really crappy thing that kind of extends out, it holds your phone, but it's like really not very supportive and it doesn't really hold it. So, you know, it's just, that's what it is. So sorry about that little interruption. Just had to talk to my dad. But yeah, so I just want to conclude with just to tell you guys. So, I mean, for the most part, I would say that, you know, probably the adhesive one's better, but I mean, I'm not really sure, you know, I guess it just depends on what car you're using, because like I said, these things cost $10. So, I mean, you could buy like 3 of them, and that would probably be equal to 1 that you could buy for 1 car, and it's probably not even as good. So you could probably buy 2 or 3 if you have a couple of cars and just put them in each car. So, I mean, you know, it's really good. And like I said, it's $10. So if it ends up not working out, just throw it away and get another one, or return and get another one. And then if you still don't like it, just get rid of it. You know, it's $10. It's not like, you know, it's not a big risk. So honestly, I feel like you really don't have to worry too much about having an issue and, you know, not being able to return it, or, you know, whatever the case is. So, I mean, honestly, I'm just going to tell you guys, I mean, really, I don't think it's a really big deal. For the price, I mean, you really can't go wrong with it. So, you know, I'm just going to conclude it with that. And I'm just going to tell you guys, so, I mean, I honestly would probably just go ahead and I would get the one with the adhesive, just because I feel like it's, you know, probably the best option for, you know, what like, you know, for the car and all that. So, just to conclude this, just want to, you know, tell you guys, I think the adhesive one's probably better. So, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out, YouTube.